Hi friends, I'm Santosh Pandey, aka Santosh Sir. I have a unique distinction of cracking the UPSC preliminary examination all 6 times and mains examination 4 times. I also secured a top rank in the state services examination. And in this video, I'm going to share with you top 10 success ingredients of General Studies Paper 2 Polity answers. And if you are able to put these 10 ingredients in your General Studies Paper 2 Polity answers, I can assure you, you are going to secure more than 100 marks in General Studies Paper 2 because I myself has used this template and secured more than 100 marks in General Studies Paper 2. What I have observed that most of the UPSC aspirant, particularly if they come from the engineering background or science background, they face challenge in writing General Studies Paper 2 polity answers. The reason is that most of the questions in these sections are analytical in nature, more analytical than General Studies Paper 3 or General Studies Paper 1. If you agree to this, please write yes in the comment box. So in today, what I have done is that I have developed a success template, and if you apply this success template in your General Studies Paper 2 polity answers, you are going to score at least 70 to 80% marks in your answers. Okay. So what is this template? This template I call it is C5 F square AS square. That is the template. So let me explain to you what is the meaning of this template. So C1 stands for context. Okay, C1 stands for context. Basically, context means that if the topic was in recent news, okay, you have to write that. You have to write that, you have to include that in your answers. Okay, second, C2 basically means concept. Okay, every question which comes in the UPSC examination, particularly in the polity section, is based on some fundamental concept of polity. You have to mention that fundamental concept of polity in your answers. Okay, then C3 basically means constitution. Means that in your answers you have to mention the specific constitutional article or constitutional provisions while writing your answers in General Studies Paper 2 Polity section. Okay, then C4 stands for committees and commission. Committees and commissions observations. Okay, then C5 will come at the end. So I'll go to F1. F1 basically means fact. You have to substantiate your points, you have to substantiate your arguments using some facts. Okay, without facts, it is said that your answers are standing without legs. They cannot run, they cannot stand for a longer period. Okay, so facts are a must. Okay, then second F, basically F2 means for or favor of the topic. Then A stands for against the topic. Then S1 stands for Supreme Court judgments or observations. And S2 stands for suggestions or way forward. And C5 stands for concluding remarks. Concluding remarks. Okay. If you include, I repeat, if you include all these 10 ingredients in your answer in General Studies Paper 2 Polity section, I can assure you no force on earth can prevent you scoring the highest marks. I repeat myself, if you use all these 10 ingredients in your answers, no force on earth can prevent you from scoring the highest marks in General Studies Paper 2. Okay. Now what I will do is I will take a question which I believe is important this year for the mains examination, and I will apply this template in front of you so that you can use this template when you write the next polity answers. Okay, so let us try to apply this template in a polity answer. Okay. So if you are following the newspaper, and if you are preparing for this mains examination, okay, you will agree with me that this year the question on sedition can come. There is a high probability that question on sedition can come. So let me frame a small question on sedition. Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? Okay, so I frame this question: should sedition be banned? law be repealed. Argue. Okay. Let us try to answer this question using the template which we have learned just now. Okay. So what we have to do is, in the introduction, what we have to do is, in the introduction, we will start with the context. So we will say that recently Honorable Supreme Court has observed that it is a high time that we relook at this law of sedition, because in the background of sedition charges against journalists, sedition charges against human rights activists, it is high time that we review this law. Okay, so that is the context, or that is the introduction of the question. Okay, after that what you do, you change the paragraph and you give first subheading, okay, and you write arguments. Okay, I'm just using the short form, arguments in favor of law, in favor or for sedition. Okay, for sedition. Okay, so here what you do is, you can mention that many challenges like terrorism, like secessionism, like extremism are still prevalent in India, and to counter these challenges, the state needs the law like sedition. If the states do not have such laws, it will be very challenging for the state to deal with these kinds of basically challenges. Okay, so that is the first, is that to counter terrorism, extremism, etc. Okay, the second is that even contempt of court, there is a law on contempt of court and it is a criminal offense. So why not contempt of state or contempt of government be a criminal offense? So that is the second argument. That contempt of government can also be a criminal offense. Okay, that is the arguments in favor. So there are very less arguments in favor, but major arguments are against the law of sedition. Okay, let us see what are these arguments. So let us see arguments against sedition. Okay, let us see this. Okay, let us see this arguments against. So now what we will do is that we will start using this C5. So C1 we have already used. Here. Okay, then what we will do is, first we will write C2, which is the concept. Here, concept of democracy. We'll say that, okay, that dissent, criticism is must in a democracy. Democracy cannot survive without dissent, without criticism. Okay, dissent is a way of life in democracy. So that is the first point. So against this law of sedition. So there is no law, sedition has no place in democracy, we can say this. Then what we have to do is, then we have to write C2. C2 basically is what? Constitution. Okay, so here you mentioned article 19(1)(a), that article 19(1)(a) gives you right to freedom of speech, right to freedom of expression. So this law is against the sedition. This law and seditions are counter to each other. Okay, next you mention, now C3, you mention the law commission. You mentioned the law commission report of 2018, which is basically headed by Mr. B.S. Chauhan. Okay, it was headed by B.S. Chauhan. So the law commission said that there is a need to water down this law. Okay, and it advocated that in a democracy such laws do not have any place. Okay, in a democracy such laws do not have any place, because democracy is about what? Democracy is about diversity of opinion. Democracy is about giving freedom to people, giving liberty to people. So criticism and dissent is a part and parcel of democracy. So we cannot basically criminalize dissent. Okay, that is what we have to write here. Then what you have to write here is that F1, we can write facts. We can write some facts to substantiate that we have to repeal this law. What is that fact? We can say that recently what has happened is that the number of cases has spiked. So there is 134% increase in the number of cases of sedition. Okay, that is one fact what we can give. Second fact what we can give, that only there is 3% conviction rate. This means what? This law is majorly used as a harassment. Okay, most of the people who are basically against whom this law has been used were not convicted. Okay, but that was, this entire process is like a harassment for them. So that is the one argument. Okay, then what you do is that then you want mention what S1. Okay, S1 is what? Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court judgment. Here you can mention what? Kedarnath judgment. Okay, or you can mention what? You can mention Balwant Singh judgment. Okay, you can mention this judgment also. Okay, so S1. Then you can change again the paragraph. You can change. You can make another subheading which is basically suggestion or way forward. You can make another heading, suggestion or way forward, and you write that okay, there is need for what? There is need for what? Repeal of this law. There is need to repeal of the law. You can suggest the repeal of the law, but at the same time there must be provisions in some other laws, in some other IPC provisions and UAPA to counter these threats, because as a country we cannot allow these threats to remain. Okay, we can make a suggestion. Then we have to write C5, which is concluding remark. Concluding remark, what we have to do is that there is a need to be more debate. There is a need for more debate among legal luminaries, among activists, among parliamentarians, that there must be some dilution in this law. Because dissent and democracy are part and parcel of the democratic society in which we are living, and a constitution. So this is what is the answer. If you have liked the answer, you please comment in the comment box and let me know that if you like this template, and please let me know that which other sections of the syllabus you want an answer writing technique. I'll come out with answer writing technique also. Here I would like to mention one thing. Many of the aspirants, what they do is they simply go and join a test series. Okay, in test series what will happen is that you will go and you write down your answers, because you have not learned the answers. You will write ordinary answers. They will just evaluate and return the copy to you. You are not gaining anything out of it. Rather than, what you should do is, first you should learn these answer writing templates. You should learn the answer writing techniques and you practice that at home. That will save a lot of money which you waste in the test series. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and please share this channel to all the mains aspirants who are writing this year's mains. And please let me know if any feedback is there. I'll come out with the next video as per your feedback. Thank you. Bye.